talking with Ambassador Mark Johnson. And Mark, I know you were an ambassador representing the United States in the Middle East for many, many years. And after this terrible news that we got from Paris, 158 people dead, coordinated attacks, apparently led by people from ISIS. So as you began to watch these reports filter in, what was going through your mind?
Well, first of all, Peter, I found this whole thing stunning. I mean, it's unprecedented. This is raw terror, barbarism, the sheer horror of it all. And I think first and foremost, by the time you and I wake up tomorrow morning, there will be at least thousands of people affected by this, victims and family members and friends and so forth. And I think that our hearts go out to those who are involved. This is just a barbaric incident, and I don't know what to make of it. And in fact, it's one of these times where I'm actually speechless about how to address this and how to talk about it. The thing I would say is that this really is an unprecedented attack. It took a lot of planning, took a lot of coordination to put this together. This wasn't triggered by some event yesterday or 2 days ago. This has been in the works for some time. And what makes it even more dangerous and deadly, it happened in Paris. France has a very good counterintelligence, counterterrorism system, and so for these guys to come in and do this, I find it very, very troubling.
Now, the fact that the Syrian, or basically Syria and other countries in the Middle East are emptying out, if you will, because of the civil war, and preponderance of these individuals are male, between the ages of 17 and 40, cascading across borders into every country in Europe. Do you see this as a natural follow-up to that mass migration?
Well, I think there's an aspect to it, yeah. France has had relatively fewer refugees coming into it, but it's had a lot of people. It's had a lot of Muslims within France, several thousand, and it's had several that have gone abroad and have come back. And the truth of the matter is the French security service can't keep tabs on all of them, and a lot of these people have come back and are motivated, animated by the ISIS ideology, and have chosen France to carry out their deadly attacks. So I think it's a very big problem. I think it's really unprecedented that this has happened in the way it has. I mean, we've seen this before in the world. It happened in Madrid back in 2004. But this, I think, is really a major, major event. This is like the Nazis invading France.
Now, do you see a backlash of European countries simply closing their borders and telling all these refugees to simply, we don't care where you go, you just can't come in here?
Well, it's early to say that, but I think you're absolutely right. That is a reaction that is unavoidable, and I think Europe, which is under a lot of pressure, is going to say enough is enough, and we don't want to have anything more to do with this. And indeed, how can they not? How can a local politician in France or Spain or London not take this attitude? So this has major consequences that are going to have repercussions for us and for Europe in particular. It's a very serious matter, and as I say, it's unprecedented, and I really don't even have the words to describe it adequately.
President Hollande has already issued a statement saying that the counterattack will be, in his words, pitiless, and that's a quote. So do you see the military in France and in other European countries beginning to bear down on what may be a very difficult enemy to pin down?
I do. I can see that now. There'll be a demand from the public, if for no other reason, to take some measures against this. And I think, people have said that the only language that these terrorists speak is violence and pressure. And I think the French are going to have to take some response to that. And I think in the United States we have to be now very, very vigilant about the possibility of other attacks. But yes, I do see that across the board in Europe. There's already a strong nationalist movement to close the borders and deny access to other people. So on many levels, in many ways, this is a very fundamental game changer.
Ambassador Johnson, one of the problems with this is attacks like this and the consequence of a comeback by military from other countries is maybe exactly what ISIS wants.
It is. It's precisely that, Peter. They have if you will, a philosophy. I hate to use that word with them, but it's the management of savagery. They want to create as much damage, destruction, and death as possible. It's their game plan, if you will. And we saw that with bin Laden and 9/11 to create a major theatrical event, a statement. And that's what these people are doing. First of all, it's good business in a sense. That's a horrible word to use with them, but it's good business because it enables them to recruit all these sort of apocalyptical millenarian people around the world who flock to their cause. So it's just absolutely disgusting and sickening. But yes, it's a part of their philosophy, and that's why these big attacks are part of their strategy.